Hello everybody, I'm SJM. Welcome back to some Don't Starve Together. We have made it to day 30. This is a little bit of a milestone um, in a sense that this is going to be the first day that the first giant can actually spawn in. Now there are a couple of rules for Deerclops spawning in. The fact that we need to have a structure somewhere close by, so that's why I'm standing kind of close to this area here and not close to my base, because if Deerclops finds his way into my base and starts destroying a bunch of structures, well, that's not going to be very good now, is it? And this will probably happen at some point about halfway through the night, so not worried about it right at this very second. Soon enough that will happen. One of the other things that's going to, or that has been happening, you've probably noticed at this point, is that the hound waves just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So two hints that I have. So first of all, for dealing with hound waves, I've got that rather large beefalo herd just over here, so what I can do is when I start hearing the hounds baying, I can, if I'm in my base area, I can just make my way over here, and then when they start spawning in, I can just run, 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 run. At some point, if you are far enough away from them, then they will change their targets, and if they start attacking the beefalos, then they get destroyed rather quickly. One other time I got caught way up here where all these spider nests were, and it was the middle of the night, so I just ran around up here and had a hounds versus spider war. Now, obviously, when that happens, we don't get any of the meat out of it at the end of the fight, because the leftover spiders or the leftover hounds will eat the meat, but we survived the hound waves. So those are two things, is using the environment to help you out with your fights. If you don't outright have another method for dealing with them, which I might go over in this episode, but we'll see how the Deerclops shenanigans goes here as well. So let's unpause this and let time pass, I guess. So we just have to have a... That sound there is the indicator that Deerclops is going to spawn, so we will get them tonight for sure. Another thing about winter is that when we've got two good pieces of thermal gear, and even because I'm Wilson, I've got 3 good pieces of thermal gear. Of course, you know, assisted with the extra insulation from the insights over there, I don't need the thermal stone in my inventory at all anymore. In fact, it makes me colder faster than not having the thermal stone. Aha! I've trapped Deerclops inside of there. Of course, if I move away, then he will be able to get out, because those obelisks will come down. Where is my Chester? So I'm currently safe from the Deerclops for now, but I might want to kill him, but I've only got 1 football helmet, and I think I want at least 2, if not 3, to do that. But the other thing that I can do is of course, use the environment against him, but I'm going to need daylight for that because I do want to maintain using my walking cane. Now Chester got stuck in there with him, and now Chester has died. I can tell that because the eye bone is gone red, but that's fine. He'll respawn in a couple of days. Not a huge deal. Can do is we can aggro the Deerclops, hopefully not getting hit in the, and then lead him around this dark forest area. So on the map where we have all of the trees and the gravestones and the spider dens, this is a dark forest area. Any heavily forested area will work, just not the birchnut forests in the, obviously in the wintertime. But as Deerclops breaks trees, then we'll have chances to spawn tree guards. And then we can let the tree guards fight him, but because we're so early in the game, only on day 31 right now, there's not a big chance that that's gonna happen, so... But we can always, it just is a matter of time, and we'll get some tree guards spawning eventually. Just to note that his attacks won't actually break the trees, but we've got to force him to walk over top of the trees themselves. This is going to be a little bit of entertainment for me, so I'll keep leading him around here, and we'll put it on a pause for now until we can actually start finding some tree guards to give us a hand with the big guy. I guess the other thing, he's knocked down a couple of pig houses, so I'm going to have access to... pig skin or two, so I can make more football helmets. That's a bit of a thing, and I can show you how to actually fight him just straight up. So a little bit later on, like say in your second winter, your third winter, whatever, this becomes much more viable because the tree guards have a much higher chance to spawn each time a tree is knocked down. What I'm going to do, I need some room in my inventory here, so I'm going to do that. I have no rope. I have no grass on me. How do I have no grass on me? Interesting. Maybe I had put it all inside Chester. I'll come up here and take a quick look inside here. Nope, there's none in there. So I'd be able to make football helmets, but I don't even have any grass. Ah, the sweet irony of it all, of being unprepared. I know there is another tree guard wandering around from when I got my pig friends to help me with all the chopping, but that's a pretty far distance away. Why am I so lost on this map? It's way up here. Which would be a long trip to drag him, but maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get the spawn we're looking for here. If I had a big beefalo herd, we could also uh, get them to maybe help us out. Okay, we want to go in this direction as a general rule, I guess. Come over this way, I'll be able to find some grass too. Also might be able to get him to aggro these Pengals. There we go. Get some Pengals to help with this fight, but they're not going to last very long because of how powerful he is. There we go. Oh, I forgot these ice patches left behind by the Pengals will make you fall down and hurt yourself as well. So yeah, let's put this on a pause while I see if I can't drag him up to an area where we can get some environmental help. So I've got the football helmets made up. Grab myself a fresh tentacle spike there. And I'm just going to get him out of the swamp here. I'm going to put down a campfire. We want to fight him right beside the campfire. And there we go. We only had to take one hit at the end of the day to do it. And I did manage to soften him up quite a bit with some of the tentacle spikes in the world there, as you saw. Just to note that the Deerclops, he makes you cold when he hits you, and so every 2 hits he'll freeze you, as you saw with the tentacle spike there. So we would hit him once and it would go like a whitish color, and then the second hit would freeze the tentacle, and then the Deerclops gets to have free hits after that point. But what I would do is I would sneak up with my walking cane and just give the tentacle spike a quick poke, which breaks the ice and allows it to keep attacking again. So I think I got him with like 3 different tentacle monsters, just to weaken him down a bit. And at the end of the day, it was good enough to be able to kill him with only a couple of hits there, like 6 hits from my tentacle spike to do it. But to stop yourself from getting frozen, you want to put down a campfire. If you have the possibility to like make it a little bit bigger with the eye bone, then you can do that as well. And what this here is a Deerclops figure sketch, which we can use in the future for making marble statues of Deerclops, but not super important for right now. But the really important thing is that we did manage to kill him to get the Deerclops eyeball. This isn't necessary by any stretch, but similar along the lines of getting the early gears from killing the Clockwork, which we did early in the playthrough. And also killing the Mac tusks, it's really going to be helpful for our thing. And Chester's back now. The eye bone is open. So that's a relief. We can take this wormhole here, and that will bring us back to base. So unlike the autumn season, the winter is only actually 16 days long. So we only have about 4 more days of winter left to contend with. So that's not too bad at all. But as we get close to the end of winter, Bengals will get really ornery and angry. And normally when you get close to them, they scoot away. But at the end of the winter, they will outright attack you if you get close to them. So just something to keep in mind there. So I've still got tons and tons of food going right here right now, so nothing too interesting to going on there. Let's eat those. Replenish a couple in my beard here. Put these guys away. So I've got a backup walrus tusk and a backup tam o' shanter. One of the things that I did off camera during the winter here was to run around the world and uncover most of the map. So most of it's uncovered now, and I did come across a really dangerous but helpful area here, so I'll just go over it with you all up here. This again, it's a set piece, and it'll only appear, you know, 1 in every 5 worlds or so, 4 worlds maybe. I don't know the exact percentage on the occurrence of this, but there is 1, 2, 3 Mac tusks. This is a triple Mac tusk set piece. So in a sort of grassland area with a little rocky biome in it, that's the indicator that it's possible that you've got a triple Mac set up. But having this tall bird nest right there, when I walked up this way, I came across Mac tusk about here, and I circled around this way. But I found that this Mac tusk came out, hunted this tall bird. This tall bird wrecked him and killed the hounds as well. And then this Mac tusk, who had come down and was chasing me around this way, eventually I peeled him off onto Chester, I think. But then Chester died there in another unfortunate incident. But then the Mac tusk re-engaged the tall bird again, killed the tall bird, which gave me 2 extra big meats, and weakened down the Mac tusk enough for me to be able to kill him. And I think I got a tusk off of each of these guys and 1 extra tam o' shanter between them. So I am flush with Mac tusk resources for now, so I shouldn't have to do any more hunting of those. But they do respawn every 2.5 days. So every 3rd day you can come back and hunt and kill him again if you've got the setup for it. So that's the Mac tusk drops in a nutshell, so to speak. How are we doing on time here? I guess we got a little bit more time to talk about the rest of winter here. So I want to just put this eyeball away for safekeeping for right now. So healing. I made some healing salves here, and we'll just take a quick look at the recipe. It takes 2 ashes, 1 stone, and 1 spider gland. So you can use a spider gland to heal yourself for 8 hit points, but if you make a healing salve, that heals you for a lot more. I think it's 15, I think it's double. It might even be 20. I forgot to look at it there when I was healing earlier, but they're very helpful. And because I've got the twiggy stick type of world, I'm always picking up sticks off of the ground all over the world. So I have tons of sticks left over, so whenever I need ash, I just put down a bunch of sticks, light them on fire with a torch. Got a torch up here somewhere, don't I? Got a torch line on the floor here somewhere, but just use a torch, light them on fire, and that'll give you a whole bunch of the ashes that we need. And rocks, we know where to get rocks now, just breaking apart boulders, which I have done a fair amount of because I've built up 44 there, so on and so forth. Let's do that. Keep partial stack on me. I should have some grass on me. We've learned our lesson there. Always have grass and sticks and possibly wood on you, and I like to keep flint as well for making tools on the go if we need to. What else do we want to talk about till the end of winter? So, yeah, I'd almost uncovered everything in the world here. Nothing too interesting. Like, obviously the triple max setup was big there. Just to note, in this desert here with all of these lava pools, there is a giant here as well called Dragonfly. So don't run in and get too close to him. But if you run far enough away, then he'll retreat back to his home. So that's why this isn't going to get uncovered anytime soon. I need to pop open some more of these plugged sinkholes to get a better look at what's going on in the caves, but we'll be doing cave stuff in the summertime. So once we've made it through spring, that'll be great. I guess we could talk about spring here because we should be looking ahead to making that. So rain gear is what we're going to need to get through spring. It is a milder season, so not quite as harsh as the winter time, but we're definitely going to want something from this rain gear tab. Now this Ibrella, which we needed the Deerclops eyeball for. We also needed the sticks and bone shards. Bone shards can be gotten from a couple of different places. I got mine from breaking all the hound mounds beside that one wormhole, but you can also find in the desert the little skeleton heads that are on the ground, or if you have boons around your world as well, you can use a hammer to break apart the skeletons that are around the boons and get bone shards that way as well. One thing I also wanted to finish off for the winter here is to start on the magic system. So much like the science system, there's a magic system, and we'll need to make something called a prestidigitator. So this is the first opening to getting into magic, is to make this thing. We need 4 rabbits, 4 boards, and a top hat. Clothing. Where's the clothing? A top hat is just 6 silk, so that's very easy there. Nothing too hard. Rabbits we get in the traps. I'm not gonna let them die and give them morsels. I'll pick them up and grab the rabbits. I should have enough durability on between these 2 traps to get those 4. And then we just need to make 4 boards, which is super simple. I've got 18 logs on me, so I can make those at any time, but also a chest that's full of wood in here as well. So we've got tons of wood. We're good in that regard. So I guess I could start making a few more bacon and eggs, just as something to do while I wait for this next night to go by. And let me put it on a quick pause, and we'll come back when I've got those rabbits collected up. As it turns out, I was over in the area where the Deerclops was, and I accidentally didn't get back here in time to collect the rabbits, but what we can do, I'm going to do this on some rabbit holes that aren't right beside my base in case I want those rabbit holes for food later. We'll just go a little bit further away. If we set a trap down there and we use a shovel, we can dig the rabbit hole and that will force spawn the rabbit for us. We just want to make sure that we approach the rabbit, or dig the rabbit hole from the side opposite of where we've set the trap up, and it will run away and get caught in the trap just like that. 13% leaves one more yet, so we just come back here. And just like that, we now have the 4 rabbits that we need. Now, exactly as the same as the science machines, the Prestidigitator only gives us access to a few things from the Magic tab, but if we build the upgraded version, then we'll have access to all of the things from the Shadow tab. I just do need 6 of those. Come over here. Build that. Back to the magic. Oh, we'll need 4 boards. Just a habitator. Did I put the boards away? Oh yes I did. I dropped them. Had a little bit too much on my plate there. Build the Prestidigitator there. Now we have access to a bunch of new things in the Magic tab here to make. This needs a shadow. The thing that we're looking for are dark swords, which it requires a shadow manipulator to prototype. So that is this guy right here. So to build a shadow manipulator, we're going to need living logs, purple gems, and nightmare fuel. So we had already farmed up a little bit of this nightmare fuel earlier, but we're going to need to get more. So with all of this good sanity improving clothing that I've got here, my sanity hasn't been going down at all, but I've shown you ways to get your sanity down, just, wait a couple of days without regaining any sanity, and then maybe stand beside an evil flower to finish it off. Or the other thing that you can do is we can pick some evil flowers to lose some sanity. And I'll show a set piece to look out for that. That's guaranteed in every world. But the other thing that we want to look at here now too is actually repairing our clothing. So there is an item under the clothing tab called a sewing kit. So it requires 1 log, 8 silk, and 2 hound's teeth to make. I left all my logs in here. I've got more spider glands, so I can make have the ability to make some more of these. I'll need some more ashes for later, but 6 healing salves should be enough. Clothing. sewing kits can be used to repair all sorts of different things. We can even repair, as unintuitive as it seems, thermal stones. So if your thermal stone is getting down in percentage-wise, probably you want to wait until it's down to about 13 or so before you do it, because it will repair it fully. But yeah, the sewing kits repair different amounts of percentages on items. So when used on this tam o' shanter, it will repair 20%. And it takes 20% out of the sewing kit. The puffy vest, I think it will do like 65% or so. So if I use this right now, it will fully repair, and I'll kind of waste a little bit of my sewing kit. So I'm not going to do that just yet. We can do that in a little bit. One other thing, I guess, when we're talking about moving resources, for spiders, we can kill a tier 3 spider den. So when you first start out, they'll all be tier 1, and then after a while they'll grow to tier 2. We can see here this has got 2 knobs on it there. And then when you saw us close by Deerclops, there was one spider den here that had 3 tiers on it. When you kill a tier 3 spider den, you will get the spider den drop, or the spider egg drop, which then you can take and you can plant somewhere. I wouldn't put it right beside your base, but putting it, a little ways away, but close enough by where when you need some silk, you can always pop over. You want to plant it. There we go. You can always come over here, step on the webs, aggro the spider. Take care of them. We can get some meat, some silk, and maybe some spider glands if those are the kinds of things you need. But one of the handy things to do to farm up some resources there is to just to have a spider den close by your home, or even something you can do is you can plant spider eggs close by pigman houses, and when the pigmen walk onto the webs, they'll get the spiders out and then they'll fight, and you can get drops automatically that way. Just note that the meat will get eaten either by the pigs or the spiders, depending on who wins the fight. So I think this is just about wrapping up the point for this episode. I guess the last thing to make before we finalize it all is our umbrella. Just forget. There, I've got my bone shards. I think I need 4 of them. And silk was the last thing that we needed. We go to rain gear, umbrella, prototype. Now I am. Oh, it wasn't even spider webs, it was sticks. So when spring does arrive, I will have 100% wetness protection with just one item. Otherwise, this umbrella that we made earlier, as I mentioned, only does 70%, so you need it in combination with another piece, such as a football helmet. But if we're wearing the football helmet, we can't use our handy-dandy tam o' shanter, which keeps our sanity all the way up high. So if you want to wear your tam o' shanter or actually, yeah, we can't use the umbrella with the tam o' shanter, but I think you understand where I'm going with that, or I hope you understand. If you don't hesitate to ask down below as well. Another one you could use if you want to not wear a backpack all of the time, you could use a raincoat. This will also give you 100% wetness protection. It does require 2 of these tentacle spots, which you get when tentacles die, so I didn't get any extras of those when the Deerclops killed them, but I got the extra tentacle spike, but just killing enough of the tentacles will eventually yield the spots. So we'll just come back down here. The merms and the tentacles are always having little battles, so It's always possible that just randomly there'll be some lying on the ground there. Charcoal from the leftover from a campfire. We even found some extra monster meat, some extra rot hanging around. Got too close to his house and made him angry. Now we've got lots and lots of rot for replanting things. Here's a tier 3 spider den. Just note that if you don't knock down these tier 3 spider dens, they will eventually spawn a spider queen, which is another mini-boss that you may or may not want to fight. They don't have useful drops other than the more spider eggs, so they're not super useful. There is a spider hat, which has some niche uses, but nothing that I would worry about as a beginner player for sure. Yeah, wandering around the swamp can always yield a few free drops because of the different things killing each other in here. Namely, the tentacles and the worms and the spiders sometimes battle each other for our benefit. Yeah, I think that's all we have to talk about here. So we'll pick this one back up at some point during the spring. We'll check in with everybody. Oh, there's one other actually very important item that we need to make before it starts raining heavily in the spring. And that is a lightning rod. So lightning rod, I don't know where it is in this menu. The lightning rod takes 4 gold nuggets and 1 cut stone, and it will prevent, or it will attract lightning. In heavy rains, you'll get lightning coming down, and if it strikes one of your structures in your base, it will light it on fire. And when things start lighting on fire in your base, it can spread to other things, so that's super dangerous. So you definitely want to make sure that you've got one of these somewhere in your base. They've got a pretty wide range. I can't, you can check it in the wiki if you want to know, but just to know that this is one of the, definitely another necessary thing that we need to have in place as we get into that that season. That because bacon and eggs is Wilson's favorite food, it gives me 90 hunger every time I eat one of them. So that's very, very handy. Anyways, we'll wrap this episode up here. I hope you all enjoyed. I appreciate you for checking it out, and we will see you in the next one.